Hello everyone, and today we have a mini cases video to start off videos for the year. It's been a minute since I have filmed, so I'm sorry if I sound a little bit awkward. I have recently got over being sick yet again, so if I sound a little off, it's just because I'm being awkward, getting back into the groove of things. But I decided we're going to start the year off with some mini cases. And this has actually been, I've had this exact video kind of like researched and ready to go for over a month now, but then things just got in the way. So I'm very excited to finally tell you guys about who we are talking about today, and that is quite a few people. We have I. Adams, Derek Washington, Curtis Debose, Iroquois Alston, and Rickita Smalls. Like usual, all the links that I use for research will be down below, like always, and let's go ahead and get into this. So we're going to start with I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I believe it's I. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm just not sure. I could find very, very little information about her, let alone a way to pronounce her name, so I'm so sorry. But with the AI, I figured it's I. It could be A. I could be completely wrong, so I apologize. But she was last seen in Beaver, Alaska on May 20th, 2017. She was on a boat on the Yukon River with her husband Cliff Adams and Kim Anden when the vessel capsized 6 miles from Beaver. Kim was the only one who wore a life jacket, and she was able to swim to shore, but she lost her shoes in the water and had to walk barefoot through the woods for 3 days before she was rescued and taken to the hospital. She said she couldn't find the Adamses and that they were unresponsive the last time she saw them in the water. Cliff's body was located between Beaver and Stevens Village, Alaska, almost a month after the incident. But there was no sign of I in spite of an extensive search. I was born and raised in Tokyo. She became interested in Alaska after reading about it as a child, and she traveled to the Beaver area with a tour group. She married Cliff, who was a local. She helped him run a fur trapping line, and her husband enjoyed fishing and hunting together. And she is presumed dead. They still have not found her body. So if anybody with any information, you are urged to contact the Alaska State Troopers at 907-269-5038. I will have her photo on the screen before we move on. Moving on to Derek Washington. So Derek was a 23-year-old with a young daughter and had another baby on the way. He would disappear on April 3rd, 2015. He was last seen in Birmingham's Wylam community on 9th Avenue in a white Dodge Charger about 1 a.m. that day. He had been in front of a red house with people he knew and associated with. For a while after he had disappeared, his mother, Jessica Jackson, said that she received mysterious phone calls, but they would eventually stop. On January 29th, 2017, a man who was squirrel hunting in the Booker Heights community found bones near a vacant home on Shady Grove Road. Police responded to the scene at 3:30 p.m., and they were led to a densely overgrown area near a vacant house in the 3500 block of Wood Avenue, which is where the remains were located. They would be positively identified as Derek. And to finish his information off, we actually have a quote from Jessica, his mother, who said he was lovable. He would always give school kids $1 on their way home or feed a child whose mom was on drugs, end quote. So he was a very sweet man, and unfortunately his children now have to go without their father. We still don't know who killed him or what happened. Unfortunately, I could not find a phone number for him, but his name again is Derek Washington from Birmingham, Alabama. So just keep your eye out for anything and report it to the police there, I assume. Moving on to Curtis Debose, and Curtis has probably the least amount of information on any person I've done in one of these videos before. We have like a sentence. So Curtis was 38 when he was killed in front of a Cleveland halfway house on December 18th, 2019. His case is unsolved, and that is literally all I could find. Not any hobbies or like where he worked, nothing else about the case. I could find nothing, but we do have a phone number, the Cleveland Homicide Unit, at 216-623-5464. And obviously I will have his photo up as well. I did not give a whole lot of time for Derek's photo to be up, so we're going to put Derek's photo up and then Curtis's photo, obviously, in that order. Moving on to our last two people we're going to talk about today, and that is Iroquois Alston and Rickita Smalls. So Iroquois, who was 27, he loved to golf, he loved basketball and football. He attended West Hill High School in Stamford and recently was released from prison after serving 8 years for robbery. Rickita graduated from Bassick High School in Bridgeport in 2007 and worked at a Stop and Shop bakery in Westport. She liked to bake, draw, and planned to return to college, and she was 22 at the time. The two of them were sitting in a parked car on Avenue B when they were shot and killed on August 6, 2011. A resident on Avenue B called cops shortly before 8 a.m. after finding Rickita slumped forward, and unresponsive in the black Honda sedan. The passenger's side window had been shattered. They both died of gunshot wounds to the head. There is a $50,000 reward that's being offered, but so far there have been no arrests or updates. And that is all I have for them, but I do have a couple phone numbers. The cold case unit of Norwalk Police Department, the first number is 203-854-3028. And then we have 203-854-3011. So I have those two numbers. And I will have their photos on the screen right now. And that concludes our video for today, our mini cases video. I was kind of playing with this idea in my head of doing a mini cases Monday videos. So I planned on doing 4 to 5 days a week uploading. So I've been researching a lot of videos to have stuff pre-filmed in time. I wanted to film every day, or I wanted to post every day, for January, but that obviously did not happen. But I kind of came up with an idea of, because I have so many cases where I don't have a lot of information, so I put them in mini cases videos of making Mondays for the mini cases, and the other days of the week, videos dedicated to the one person or persons we were talking about. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know how it's gonna stick or if I'm gonna change it up, but right now that is what I plan on doing. I really want to try to stick to this 4 to 5 days a week. Hopefully I don't burn myself out. But thank you so much for joining me on the first video in 2015. I'm so sorry. That is 10 years late. 2025. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like always, thank you so much for listening to this video and everybody's story that is in it. I really wish that I had more information for all of these people, but at least we can tell you a little bit about them, and hopefully putting their names out there helps in some way. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and I hope your year has been good to you so far, and I will see you guys in a couple days. Bye!